Welcome to ADI Global Distribution's Introduction to Wattbox. First of all, we're going to navigate to app.overc.com, where we'll end up at the OVRC landing page. Once on this page, we're going to select Create an Account, where we're going to then enter our first name, last name, company name, and email address, as well as creating a password for the account. You also have the option to add a postal code as well. When entering your password, the password must meet the minimum password requirements that are outlined on the page. Once this is all completed, you then have to agree to the OVRC Terms of Use and the OVRC Privacy Policy before continuing. Once you've clicked Save, you may get a pop-up asking about activating your email address. Once you have received the email, if you click the link, you will have activated your account, and then you can proceed to log on to your account.
Once you've logged in, first thing you need to do is add a customer. So click Add Customer at the top of the page and enter your customer's information. The mandatory information is a first name, last name, and a display name. It is also useful to include a business name, email address, and phone number. In the next section, you can choose whether the customer is residential or commercial. We are going to use the ADI head office as an example, so we'll name this as head office, and then in the Address 1 tab, we'll start typing in the location of our offices. As you can see, this is using Google Maps as a search base, so we'll type in Broadway Business Park and select it from the list. You'll now see that the address has been verified and information has been filled in. We'll also make sure that the correct time zone is selected and also insert our ISP name. You'll also need to agree to the terms of use again and the privacy policy, as well as proving that you have the customer's consent to add them to OVRC. As you can see, all the information has now been added, and you can see there a Google Map location too. If you head to the Map tab on the left, you'll also be able to see a map of all your customers.
Once you've created the customer, then select it and you can go to the Devices tab. Once on that tab, you can select Add Device and enter the MAC address of said device. You can find this MAC address on the underside of the physical unit. Once you've put that in, select Find Device, and if it's on the same network, you should be able to see it. Once you've found the device, you then input the service tag, which is also found on the underside of the physical unit, and once you've typed that in, you can then verify it. Once verified, you can then create a room or assign it to an existing room.
As you can see, the device has now been added to our tech room that we created, and here you'll see a basic details page including the status, device name, IP address and manufacturer of your device in the OVRC app. If you go into the device, you'll come to a basic details page. Here you can see we've got two outlets available as we're using the 2-gang Wattbox unit. You'll see a left switch, which is a manual off and on, or a recycle switch, which will cycle the power back on automatically once it has been enabled. You will also see a network ping if your device is connected to the network as well. Next, head to the Configure tab and go to the Configure Outlets option. Here you can change the outlet name, the outlet mode, and a power on delay if you so wish. We are using a message manager and a switch in our outlets, so we'll change the name of those. And then we will also look at the outlet mode. As we're using a network device, you'll see that we have an option called Network Device. This basically turns off the manual switch, meaning you can only power cycle the unit. This is helpful to prevent any accidental power downs. You will see on the right hand side that the power on delay is separated by a single second. This always has to be the case, and you can never have a device powering at the same time. And you will see here that network device setting that we enabled has now been activated, meaning you can only power cycle the network switch. However, you can manually turn off and on the message manager. And if you click the power cycle button, you'll see there a confirmation message.
Once you've configured your device outlets, you can then select the Schedule tab. You'll then see the list of device schedules, or you can add a new schedule. Once you've selected this, you can then enter your schedule name, such as weekend, and then you can select the outlet actions. So this can be turn on, turn off, or reset, and then you can select which devices you want to do that to. You can then select a schedule frequency, so you can have this as a once, or you can repeat the schedule. When you select repeat, you'll see a list of days, and you can select the days you would like this schedule to repeat. You can then select the schedule times before saving. Once saved, you'll see this back in the list of schedules, and you'll have the option to turn this on or off.
As well as being able to configure the device in OVRC, you can also do this on the device's IP address. So in the Devices tab, click on the IP address and enter the username and password. The default for this will always be Wattbox. Once you've logged in, you'll see a very similar page to the OVRC app. You'll see our outlets at the bottom, and any settings configured in OVRC will carry over. You'll also find an update and reboot option at the top, as well as all of our device information. As you can see, our wireless IP settings haven't been set up, so go to Configure, Wireless IP, and Scan for your network. Another useful feature of the OVRC app is the ability to add users to your account. In the Account tab on the left hand side, you'll see that you've got your primary user, the owner of the account, and you can add more users using the Add User button. Once you've entered their email address, you can assign them to different customers, as well as placing them in a group of administrators or technicians. Secondly, if your customers ever need to get in contact with you, you'll need to enter some support information. This is done on the OVRC Connect Info tab. As you can see here, we've entered our support email address in there. And then back to the customer coverage page, you can see all your customers and which groups they are being monitored by.
So in summary, here's some important information to bear in mind. When accessing a Wattbox device's IP address, the username and password will be Wattbox in both fields. Serial tag and MAC address are located on the underside of the physical device. If the customer has a pre-existing Control4 system in place, then make sure that you register the device before you attend site to avoid any previously installed Control4 software claiming the Wattbox device. To enable the Wi-Fi, which is only available on the 2GAN Wattbox product, you need to do this on the actual device's IP rather than the OVRC app. You should always set the safe voltage feature in the UK to between 209 volts and 251 volts. This feature is only available on the Wattbox 6, 8 and 12 GAN models. Thank you for watching this introduction to ADI's Wattbox range.